what they are trying to do is they are trying to inculcate this habit of problem solving and analyzing real time cases into students. We miss that part, right? But also companies are also growing, so they have found this new pattern in interviews where they give you case studies and they want to test how good of a problem solver you are. Like, I have given so many interviews and every other organization asked me case studies, and the fun fact is some of them did not even give me case studies. They asked me, they backfired a question on me like, you built this project, right? Tell me a problem that you faced and then tell me how you solved it. Now they don't have to give you a case study, you have to give a case to them. You have to give how you studied it and how you solved it. So this is one of the patterns that we are seeing these days. So I want you to be very smart and a good problem solver. Okay, so let's see an example of a case study. They will give you a scenario like this. You are a part of a consulting team hired by a coffee chain, and if you even if you're from IT, they still give you case studies. So this is not a waste of your time. Okay, let's solve this together. You are part of a consulting team hired by a coffee chain called BrewBuddy, which has 200 stores across India. Over the last 6 months, their sales have dropped by 25%. So basically, they have given you a case wherein you are a part of a company, coffee chain, BrewBuddy, and it has 200 stores pan India. Over the last 6 months, their sales have dropped by 25%. The sales have dropped by. This is the case. And customer footfall is decreasing. Basically, the customer footfall is how many customers reach out to you. They want to understand what's going wrong and how to fix it. So the other person, the third party wants to understand what you can fix in such situation and how you are going to um, you know solve this. Now a normal and ordinary candidate, what he would do it, he would try to jump to answers, he would try to uh, give them a solution as fast as possible. Now this is what everybody does. What makes you stand out is the way you tackle this problem. I don't want you to jump onto solutions, I want you to think and speak aloud. What do I mean by speak aloud is speak your thoughts. The moment somebody gives you a case or a question, I want you to be smart and ask a question to them again, backfire a question to them. This gives a sense of confidence that you are ready to solve the question, but you want a clarity on the scenario or on the case. Is that clear so far? Is the problem clear? Hi, Amit. Hmm. Okay, great. More responses, please. Go through the case study again and we'll see how we can answer this in a smart way. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. So the main question to solve is, why might BrewBuddy's sale be dropping? What do you think? What are the reasons? Why might be the sales dropping? And what recommendations would you give to improve them? So don't jump to solutions. Everybody's doing that. Okay, they want to play smart, they will jump to solutions. I don't want you to jump to solutions. I want you to first play with the mind of the other person. Okay. So how to approach in an interview or a group discussion, how will you approach to this problem? Okay. How to approach? Clarify the problem. That's what I mentioned. You have to ask more and more questions, backfire questions to them so they know that you are wanting to solve the problem, but you want a clarity. This gives a sense of confidence, a great sense of confidence to the other people that, okay, this guy doesn't rush to solutions. He thinks and plans a roadmap in his mind. Okay. So is that drop consistent? So that person, you as a person have to backfire a question to them and say, is that drop consistent across all cities or in specific regions? Has there been a change in pricing, menu, or competitor activity? Now that is a great move, trust me. If you jump to solutions, you will say, okay, I will reduce the prices of the product, or I will open more stores. But this doesn't sound reliable. When you ask questions to them again, like, can I know, is there a specific reason if the sales have dropped? Have you changed the prices? Have you, is there any competitor in the market? So that makes the other person think that, okay, you are a person who solves the problems from root, and you root for the problems. Okay, so this is a very good tip for you. Pro tip इसको कह सकते हैं हम, that you have to be very mindful of what you speak. Okay, your words are your thoughts, so you have to question them again, and you have to get to the root of the problem. Don't rush. I don't think any fast speaking person or any person who jumps to solutions quickly grabs more attention. No, you can be very patient and still lead. I think patience shows power and mindfulness. Okay, so you have broken down, like you have asked them the question, you want to get to the root of the problem. The next thing I want you to do is break it down. Show them you have a structured thinking. I told this earlier also. Speak aloud. This is what I meant when I said speak aloud. Whatever you're thinking, speak it aloud. Ask them questions, and every time you think something, speak it so that the other person knows, okay, you're trying to frame a solution to it. Don't keep it inside. Okay. And yeah, the next is use categories like product. Have you changed the quality of the product, or have you changed the way it looks, or have you made any changes in the product so far? Have you changed the pricing, place, promotion? Have you decreased the marketing strategy? Have you decreased the investment in the marketing? So when you ask these questions, it gives a sense to the other person that, okay, you are trying to get to the root of the problem. Okay, then offer potential reasons. What have you done so far? First, backfiring a question to them to let them know that you want to know the root, right? Second, break down the problem, get to different aspects, so the other person realizes that, okay, you are not a quick problem solver, you are a mindful problem solver. Then the third is offer potential reasons. Now you have to give your opinions along with potential reasons, like maybe a new cafe chain is offering cheaper prices or better ambience, or Bluebuddy hasn't updated their menu in a while. It might seem outdated to younger customers. So this again gave a sense of uh, what do you say? Sense of a good problem solver to them, that you are targeting different target audience. Like youngsters would not like what you're making, so you're giving them reasons why they have seen a downfall in the market or the sales. Okay, then now every time, this is a pro tip again, every time you write something, not in corporate, okay, even if you're a student in 11th, 12th, 10th, I would suggest you this. Every time you write a speech or a letter, or um, what do we have, speech, letter, whatever it is, every time you write something and give a problem, the problems are always given basically, you always have to give a solution. So when this person has given you reasons, and they are asking, why do you think there is a downfall in the market, even if they don't ask the solution, recommend them, suggest them some advices, that this is something that we can do. Because even if you think the other person is not noticing, their subconscious is noticing that you are a very positive person. You get to the solution. Okay, you don't leave the problem hanging like that. So yeah, that's one of the pro tips. So then you have to give some practical recommendations. Launch a customer feedback campaign. You are saying directly कि customers se पूछो what is the problem. Introduce seasonal drinks, and you're giving them recommendations, like if you want to invest more, you can introduce more drinks. Okay, and why this helps in placements? Obviously, why are we studying this case study here? Tests analytical thinking, that I said. Analytical thinking बहुत ज़रूरी है. The communication, the way you communicate your thoughts. Some people don't know how to communicate their thoughts. They are very good problem solvers. They solve the problem in their minds, but unless you can not even speak what you're thinking, it is of no use, right? And yeah, I think the this art of giving your opinions and solutions is very, very much important. Okay, good, good so far. Please let me know if you have any doubts in this case study. Now, whatever the case study they give you, whatever the situation they give you, Be patient and be mindful of what you speak. Don't jump to solutions. This is your key takeaway from this. Okay, don't jump to solutions. Be patient, and patience has power. It speaks confidence. Okay. How to improve communication? Amit, I think I mentioned this yesterday also. Read a lot of good books, self-help books. Read, and if you are fond of watching TV or drama, whatever it is, watch some English drama. You will improve English, and it is all about confidence. When you speak English, if you're a Hindi speaker or a native speaker, any native speaker, when you speak English, what we tend to do is we translate these words before we speak. Like this was spoken in one of the Sandeep Maheshwari's video, that you don't need to translate the words in your mind. Like car ko gaadi bolte hain, like gaadi ko car bolte hain. You know it already, right? So just try speaking directly. What will happen? The words will be broken, but you speak. Like what a baby does is he doesn't know Hindi, he doesn't know English, but he breaks the word. He sometimes speak some words that don't make any sense, and he learns on the way, right? So it is not a one day thing. You cannot improvise your English in one day, but you can improvise it slowly and slowly. Okay. Ma'am, what if the question asked as all the things mentioned in it? So what should we question again interview? So basically no question has everything in it. Say for can you give me an example question? And even if you don't, I will tell you. Whenever somebody gives you a question, think practically. Whenever I'll give you a question, your mind is already questioning you a lot. कि हो सकता है maybe they have changed the packaging, maybe they have they do not have investment to make for the marketing purpose. That your mind is already asking you such questions, but the fact is we cannot speak those thoughts. We forget it. Okay, think of it like uh, a child in fifth grade. Okay, when you teach a child in fifth grade, you tell him divide 25 by 5. That child might not divide it, but when you ask him divide 10 chocolates among two people, he knows the answer is 5. 10 chocolates among two people. Now his mind has already processed that mechanism in his mind, but he doesn't know, he doesn't analyze. And that is what we do nowadays. You are saying you are saying what if the question has all the answers? The question never has all the answer. Your mind will ask you some questions when you try to solve it, and you have to speak those questions. This is what I meant when I said speak aloud. Speak the thoughts aloud. Okay, your words are your thoughts in an interview. And the biggest takeaway if you are in an interview is silence is not golden in an interview. Okay, we must have heard about this. Silence is golden, silence is golden. Keep this in mind. Silence is never golden in an interview. Speak, 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 speak as much as you can. I don't want you to blabber anything. Okay, speak and be mindful of what you speak. And that is why the first thing I mentioned before speaking is patience. Be patient, speak slow. You must have seen many billionaires. They speak very less. They don't blabber things out, right? So you have to be patient, learn the art of patience and mindfulness, and then speak. But speak, okay? Don't stay silent. Okay, outfit, we'll discuss that for interview. Any more questions? So this is how you get case studies. And I also mentioned you, right? This is a new trend that I have seen. Like people do not give you case studies. They tell you, okay, you worked in this project. Tell me one problem that you faced and how you solved it. So always while going to an interview, read your projects thoroughly and find at least two problems that you faced during the project and how you solved it. And those two problems should be the best problems that you faced and the best solution and the most innovative solution that you found. Okay, so whatever whenever you're going to an interview, please have the problems in your mind. People might ask you what problem you faced. You should have that. Okay. Okay, I think we can go ahead to the HR view round, HR round. Let me know. I like you guys are getting interactive now. You can ask more questions and you can let me know if we can move ahead. Okay, thank you. Thank you. The session will last till 8 p.m. Shilpa. Any more questions? So basically, yesterday's session was more on how can you crack or how can you open the doorway to an interview. Cold messaging, how to text people, how to reach out to people, and that was my personal learning. Use Chat GPT. So that was how to get to the gateway of interviews. Then when you enter, how to ace that part, how to ace interview is in day two today, right? So I think we can move ahead. Thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Okay. Next thing that I prepared for you is some HR questions, some common HR questions that are asked and which we usually answer very ordinarily. I want you to master that art of answering and how can you answer in the best way possible. Yeah, common round, common questions. This is what this slide is about. Vignesh. Okay, some common HR questions and how to answer. So you must have seen this question, very, very important question. Tell me about yourself, right? So, how do you answer this question? So somebody asked me, what, like 1 year back, what are you going to tell an interview in the first 30 seconds of the interview process? And I was very sure, like I was like, of course I'm going to share my technical skills and what I bring to the table. And then I realized every other person is going to tell that only. They have seen my resume, they know I am there for MERN stack development like a job. So how does it make me different if I tell them I am specialized in MERN stack, I know Node.js, I have worked this kind of makes it very monotonous and unattractive. There is something unattractive about the way we introduce ourselves to the HR. Even if you don't notice it, their subconscious mind is already noticing that you have not put efforts in the way you speak or introduce yourself. And this is where the star trick comes in handy. I think we will do that first. And this is a very important trick. So do let me know if we can start. I think we can start. You guys are already giving sending thumbs up. I think this star technique is the star of the session today. This is something you need to learn not only in interviews but in the long run. It will help you a lot. Every time you introduce yourself to anyone, this technique is going to help you. Okay. There is also another technique, Oreo technique. Let me know if you want that. I have not prepared any slide for it. It was some off-topic stuff, but let me know if you want it. I will share it to you. That will make you very good communicator. Like you will become very, what do you say, convincing personality. You can convince anyone about the thoughts that you, the way you think or whatever you speak. That would make you very convincing. Ma'am, using ChatGPT, we can prepare our resumes, right? But I have heard from somewhere that they reject AI generated. Okay, who is telling you to use the exact content that ChatGPT gives? I give you a prompt, use that. It will give you the content that is extraordinary. And I also mentioned it yesterday. ChatGPT is something where you can frame your prompts as much as you can. Frame it. Even if you want to do the job search, say, give me companies which are very underrated in my area but pay well. And then also give him, like, tell him that, okay, these do not work for me. Give me companies that are actively recruiting. So you can always reframe the prompts. So I think resume building has become a cakewalk using AI. Okay, so I think we can move ahead with the star method of answering questions. And the main question, tell me about yourself. This is the very first question that any person is going to ask you. And let's see how we can answer it in a very attractive way. And it should not look very overconfident. Okay, don't say I just did this, I'm here for this. Be very subtle while answering. Okay. Yeah, if interviewer asks some unknown questions, how can I say I don't know the answer? This is what the Oreo technique I was telling you about, Vignesh. If you want, I will share it with you. Okay, let me know. But first, let's do this. The star technique basically is there. I'll highlight the part. My screen is visible, or should I zoom in? I think it's good. In my screen, it looks fine. Let me know if I should zoom in. Zoom it. Okay, visible. I think visible now. Okay. Okay, great. So I'll highlight the part. S stands for situation, T stands for task, A stands for action, and R stands for result. Now, this is how you introduce yourself. Whenever asked the question, tell me about yourself. Do not start with I am an aspiring full stack developer, I am this. Be very good of a storyteller. This is the art of storytelling in an interview. So, what I want you to do is, I want you to give a situation. So first of all, very subtly introduce yourself. Like I am this. I am currently in my final year of BTech in computer science, and over the past few semesters, I have actively explored real world applications of my skills. Only two lines are enough to introduce you because they have your resume in the hand. They don't want you to blabber who you are, okay, or where you did your education from. That's unnecessary. The trends have changed now. So I'm currently in my final year. These two lines are enough. Now I want you to give a situation to them, a situation that you faced, and that has to be the best situation of your life, and the way you moved out of it should be the best of all. So you have to give it a situation. For instance, during my sixth semester, I led a team project for a national level hackathon. What you are doing here is you are telling the other person that during my sixth semester, I led a team project for a national level hackathon. You are giving a situation to the interviewer that I was in this situation and this was kind of a problem. Is that clear so far? We are giving a problem, a situation to the person. So, and please don't move to the situation straight away. You have to connect it with the introduction. This is how this person connected. How I have actively explored real world applications in my life of my skills. And for instance, this is something I did and faced a problem. Okay. Okay. I think clear so far. You have to give a situation to the other person related to the domain you are applying for. Okay, great. Thank you. So the situation part is clear. Now you have to give them a task. So we had just 48 hours to build a working prototype. What was the problem again? You had to build a team project for a national level hackathon. So we had just 48 hours to build a working prototype, and my responsibility was backend development. So you're giving them what your task was, what was your role in that situation. So you're giving them what role you played, right? Yeah, you have to spell your name first, definitely. I designed, and one thing more, speak your name with confidence. This is something we miss out. It's like, my name is Gita, which very casually you say, my name is this, my name is this. Speak your name with confidence, like you own it. Okay, one of the pro tips again. Yeah, so you gave the situation, you gave the task. I designed the database, handled what is your role. You have to give your role first, what your task, and then what action you took in order to solve that problem or in order to come out of that situation. What we did so far is I will give you an overview, your basic introduction, 2 lines, not more than that. connect the introduction with the situation that you face. Then star S and then T, task, what role you had, what technique, like what task you had in that part. And then third, action, what action you took, what you did as a person to come out of that situation. Okay. Then, yeah. So I designed the database, handled API integrations, and even managed a last minute crisis when our servers crashed. This part has to be more about eyes, what you did, what I did. I did this, I did that. And you can also introduce a problem here. And then I faced a problem with this part, and then I solved it using this technique. So, task complete. Then, obviously, as I mentioned, whenever you give a problem, you are supposed to give a solution. That is how you play with the mind of the other person. So you have to give the result, right? So the result, a solution made it to the top 10. Now, numbers, as I mentioned in your resume, while you speak, statistics play a vital role. So numbers are very important. So the result, or a solution made it to the top 10 out of 150 plus teams and received praise for functionality and resilience. Now, the choice of words is on point, and the way you mentioned this result in just 1.5 line is how you speak of confidence, how you show confidence in what you speak, right? The lesser, the better. So that person, so what we did here is we gave a situation, we gave a task, what role we played, we gave action, what we did, and in that action you can integrate what problems you faced and how you solved it. As a person, I use more I's than we. Okay. And then use we in the results part if you worked in a team. Now I assume in 3 or 4 years of your college time, if you guys are here in this boot camp, there must have been at least one situation where you were the problem solver, or you played a good role, right? So just pick out that situation, and even if you don't have it, what I said yesterday, make a story and own it. Okay. Make a fake story, that doesn't matter in the, that is just, in the hr interview round. What you want to show is the confidence with which you own things. So own a story, keep it, say it with confidence, and whatever story feels like you, what you have done, even if you did not face it, that's fine, as long as you're confident and you're speaking well. So then, after the result, now you want to integrate a very good introduction about yourself, that what I learned, what were my key takeaways, and how I grew as a person, and that situation shaped me. Okay. So, experiences like these shaped my interest in problem solving, collaboration, and working under pressure, which is why I'm actively pursuing roles where I can continue learning while contributing meaningfully to a tech driven team. Now, if you observed in this introduction, it was more of a situation type introduction, but you very smartly integrated your technical skills in this. Uh, if you noticed in the task wala part and in the action part, you already told them I am good in Node.js, I am good in API integration, I am good in backup using Firebase. Like, so Firebase, you know how to use it, and how good of a problem solver you are. So work smartly. You are doing two things here. What you did, you also gave an introduction. You told them what your technicalities are and what your skill set is, and you grab the attention. When you give a problem to other person, or when you give a situation to the other person, it automatically grabs their attention. They want to know what happened next. And if you can build this curiosity in the other person, you have won the battle already. Okay. Recommended ATS friendly resume template. The Panshu, I will share it in the resources file only after this bootcamp. It will have all the things that I shared with you: the resume, some website, the templates, and resume templates link. What else? The case studies, and yeah, how to do cold messaging. Any more questions? Is this clear so far? Let me know. Guys, let me know if this is clear so far. Okay. More responses are awaited, please. Okay, great, thank you. So I think it's pretty clear. Star technique. Give a situation to the other person, give what you did, give how you tackled it, the action, and then the result, of course. And you have already aced in the introduction part, which is the very first part, and uh, which is the most important part in an HR interview round. Why this works? It doesn't feel robotic. It flows like a storytelling, the art of storytelling. I already mentioned it. It shows the what, how, and impact of your work, like how good of a problem solver you are. Again, you have to showcase your. I also mentioned this word yesterday, proofreading. Like you should show that you actually uh, do things. Like you should show your actions with your words. You have to learn that art of integration. So be good, be a good storyteller in an interview. I think that makes you a good interviewee. And then it ends with a natural wait it ends with a natural seek into why you're applying. So yeah, definitely why you're applying. You also mentioned this, that now I want to improvise, I want to join a tech driven team, and I want to solve more problems. So this gives a sense of confidence, right? So I think it's pretty clear. Hi, hello. So yeah, that was star technique. Now let's get back to some basic introduction, basic HR questions. First was, tell me about yourself. We have already cleared that part. Bullet points. Final year student, completed internships in relevant fields. If you want to share some skills that actually sound good and some experiences that sound good, please don't shy away. Share it after your star technique part. And then passionate about tech and problem solving. This is something we covered in that storytelling already. Okay. Then walk me through your resume. This is what most of the interviewers ask the very next moment they see you. Like, walk me through your resume. I don't want to read it. What you know about yourself. So please definitely read your resumes. What people do is they ask some other people to they pay some other people to make their resumes, their friends or someone, and they don't even know what has been written in the resume. So please read your resumes, own it. Whatever I said, whatever you speak, own it. Believe what you are saying. Okay. So quick summary of academics. Give a quick summary. I'm pursuing this. I did my schooling from this. That's it. That's all. And if you have any university awards or anything, mention it. Please mention it. Highlight internship projects highlighted while speaking, because now the person has asked you about resume, so now you have to be very professional and proficiently professional. So be great and be, you can be a little exaggerative here, like you can exaggerate your achievements. And then mention certifications. Yeah, also achievement certification I already mentioned. Please don't shy away. What are your strengths and weaknesses? This is something asked in the last part of the interview. So you've already won the mind of that person, the attention of that person. So this question is not that difficult. Be honest. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And if you don't know anything, just learn these two, three words. I'm a quick learner. This is my strength. I'm adaptable. This is my strength. And I'm a team player. This is my strength. Public speaking, you are working on it. You can say this perfect. And what I answered it personally in an interview I was asked this question. So I told them my strength and weakness is both the same. Strength is I know how to get things done. So if given a task, I will complete it, and I will not be at peace unless I do that task. So this is my strength, but this is my weakness only, because I forget to do my personal things while I do this. Now this gives a sense of accountability in you to the other person, that okay, you have this weakness that you forget everything when you are given a task, but it gives a sense of you being accountable for what you do, right? So you can be honest here. No buttering. Why should we hire you? Most important question some people want to answer, because you're hiring. But no, you have, like, you can say I have some real project experiences. And I also I answered this question when I was asked in the interview, as I stand out in the crowd. I know what I'm doing. I have gained this experience even in my college years, while others were not doing it. You can be honest here also. You don't need to do any kind of buttering and stuff. So yeah, you can do this also. Eager to learn and grow. If you don't know how to answer, learn 3 4 sentences, and we are good to go. Okay. Any doubts so far? Please let me know in the chats. Please don't let the chats get boring. Okay. Keep asking questions. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Very important question and very much asked question. Growing within the company, gaining expertise in chosen domain, and possibly leading a team. This is what you say. Please don't answer it like I want to be in the place of my current manager. Yeah, whoever will be the manager. This sounds kind of dominating. You have to answer it very subtly, like I want to grow in this field. I probably see myself at a higher post, and I want to learn and grow as fast as I can. Okay. And don't answer it like I want to see myself in other company if you're applying for this current position. Okay, please play smart. Any questions? There are a lot of questions that I mentioned. I want you to read it. We cannot cover all of them, but I prepared notes for you. Hello chat, please let me know if this is clear so far. But we are not getting shortlisted. Vansh Deep Verma, did you attend yesterday's session? Even if you did not, let me give you an overview. One trait that I talked about is being stubborn, which I was. Be stubborn, be like, I want a job, I will get a job. If your target is, I will get a job by February, maybe you will get a job by March, but you have to be stubborn. And if you apply at 60 companies altogether, do you think not even three of them will revert back? They will. You have to be stubborn. Trust me, there are more jobs than you can think. I think 75% of the jobs are hidden in today's market. Trust me. Even if you see jobs for different roles, just reach out to the HRs and say, I want to apply for this role, even if they're not hiring for that role. We never know. You just never know. I want you to be as stubborn as you can. Any more questions? Yeah, they revert. I have got so many rejection messages from Amazon, Google. Why do you fear rejections? Get 100 rejections, fail again, fail better. That should be your mantra. Okay. Not everybody, that's what I'm telling you. If you try at 50 places, doesn't work, try at 100 places. You have to do it for yourself. You cannot say jobs nahi hai. There are so many jobs in the market. So many. Hi ma'am, I am from BCom, second year student with interest in MERN stack, but I'm also considering data analytics due to growing scope. Could you please let me which path might be better for you is your own call. Um, if you're in college, you can still explore. I explored 2 3 domains, and who said you cannot try things? You're still a student. Try learning data analytics, try getting internships, try learning MERN, try getting internships, and whatever fits your plate or suits you, just go for it. That is your own call. How can I tell you which you will be better at? But Amit, what made you switch from CA to developer? I would like to know that. Can we have notes of something? Access HRs and how to do cold meet? Yeah, I cold messaging. I told yes. I explained yesterday also. I will share the notes, and HRs. I shared the notes. I already explained. Once How many companies have you applied to, Vanchdeep, so far? Do you know the count? Oh, okay. Computer application. Great. Yeah, you can pose as many questions as you want to the interviewer. In fact, asking questions is a better approach. Hmm. You used to wake up, update your profile, and apply for around 20 companies. Used to, you are not still doing it, okay? First thing. And apply for around 20 companies daily, 20 for web dev, 20 for analyst. Okay. 20 for consulting. Okay. Aage, what happened? You did not get a single revert back. I have been there, but it's fun, I feel. Only few. Yeah, they did revert back. Then why didn't you join once? Okay. You got a revert back with an unfortunately wala message. Uh, okay. A technique that I shared yesterday, use ChatGPT. What you have to do is share your skill set, tell it, give me 20 companies that are actively recruiting, that recruit freshers, and I want to work in this role. And then what will happen is it will give you companies. If you think they're very high top tier companies, tell it give me some underrated companies, give me some companies that are not known as much, and it legit gives you some companies which have direct mention of the HRs in their websites, and you can directly call them. Yeah, this is one of the biggest problems of today's time. They look for experienced ones because obviously experienced are also unemployed, freshers are also unemployed. What are you going to opt for? The unemployed, experienced person, right? Yeah, for freshers it's hard, I know. No, no issues. Even if you do not have any experience, just tell them you have built some real-time projects. I explained this yesterday also. Building real-time project is equal to working in corporate. Give them solutions, give them problems. This is what I faced, this is what I worked on. We have a team of 4 people. Whatever you want to speak, just own 2 to 3 projects. Sure. Vanch, sure. I am in BTech first year from CS. I understand English and also able to write, but I can't speak in English because I have fear of judgment. So what should I do? Fear of judgment. And your username is LKG English classes. Irony. So basically, if you fear speaking English and if you fear judgment, sharpen this. Uh, Fear of judgment is the first thing that's stopping you. So leave that. If you are in a first year, I want you to polish your skills, confidence first, and then move into the world of tech or whatever you want to get in. So I want you to read some good books, watch some TED talks, and try speaking in front of a mirror or videos and see how you speak. And even if you speak broken English, who cares? Nobody cares. Every second person is speaking wrong English. Trust me, you can improvise every single day, and it's never too late. And I can see you are a fresher. So this is actually very good that you are accountable. You own your flaws, and you know I am bad at it, and I need to improve. So this is the very first step that you already took. It's not going to take a lot of time, trust me. I have landed internship in Singapore, very good. Will it give me an edge during it? Yeah, it will. The moment you say Singapore, it's giving you an edge in the interview, Kavya. Congratulations. See, keep working. If people, I root for people who are stubborn and keep working. I was this person. Even when I was in the second year of my college, I was like, I want to work. I want to earn. I want to work. Just give me work. And I just, you know, every now and then I was doing something. Some days I was creating my resume. Some day I was exploring websites, creating my portfolios. So I root for people actually who want to work, who do not find excuses but solutions. This is what companies are looking for. Anxiety before interview is common. It's very common. I get anxious. Everybody gets anxious. You do not have to deal with it. Be at peace. Be patient. Learn the art of patience. I mentioned this also. Don't rush. Sometimes we, fumble while speaking because we think you have to be quick while answering. You do not have to be quick. You have to be patient. The person sitting in front of you was at some point in life in the place you are right now, right? So be patient. Patience is power for me. Learn that art. Okay, even if you take some deep breaths. And yeah, somebody asked me about the outfits. Let's cover that topic abhi only. I have seen some people who are not confident in formals, opt for formals while going to interviews. But even if you don't want to wear formals, that's absolutely fine. Dress decent. Some people now I have seen who wear formals just for the sake of it, and they are not at all confident in it. I was that person. Uh, like I used to opt for different styles in formals which did not suit me. So know your style. See, you have to grow as a person if you want to sit in an interview. Everything from your head to your toe counts. The way you speak, the way you think, the way you carry yourself, the way you sit. I will discuss this after this topic. So everything counts. So if you are not comfortable with formals, that's fine, as long as it's not mentioned in the company guidelines that you have to come in formals for the interview process. Great. So yeah, um, like most of the anxiety will go on its own if you feel confident, if you feel like you ace it, feel it. And one of the psychological tricks I want to talk about before going to an interview is that is called temporal distancing. What you have to do is zoom out of the situation. You know you are going to get a job after 3 years or 4 years, right? After 4 years, like 4 years down the line, you will have a job. You know it. Your mind knows it, right? So what you have to do is right before going to interviews, learn the art of temporal distancing. What you have to do is distance yourself from that situation, zoom out, and it will feel very easy. Like, okay, I'm going to get a job after 4 years down the line, I will have a job. So what is this? This is just a part of the process. When you think of it that way, you will learn how to not get anxious. Okay, I will explain it in layman's terms again. See, for example, you're feeling very sad for some reason. Learn temporal distancing. What you will do is look for 5 years down the line scenario. Are you going to feel that sad for that specific situation? No, you are not. So that gives you a kind of easiness. Okay, this is one of the tricks that you can use while going to an interview, that in your mind tell this yourself that, yeah, after 5 years I'll have a job. So this is just part of the process. What will happen? I'll get rejected. No, doesn't matter. 4 years down the line, I have a job. So I'm living a life. So that is called temporal distancing, and you should learn it. Did that work? Did that tip work for you? Are there any intriguing questions you like to ask? Yeah, you can ask the interviewer. Like sometimes they, tell you that what is your name, Arjun. Sometimes they tell you, like, Arjun, if you join us, we will be working on this, this, this. So that is where your curiosity can show, and you can ask them, okay, are we working on this product for 2 months now? Is this product still live? And what role will I have? Be positive, sound positive कि तुम्हें पता है you are going to get selected, you know it already. Sound positive that what role will I have? So that gives a sense of positivity in you and in that person, that okay, this person has already uh, thought that he has been selected, even if they have not given you any answer. So you are telling them that sir, what will be my role? So you can use this trick. Okay, so these questions you can ask the interviewer or even the HR. Ma'am, what role will I get? So yeah, this shows that you are very mindful of what you are getting into. Sometimes people sound very desperate, just give me the job, give me for free, paise mat do, I will work. You do not want to sound desperate. You want to sound like you have invested something in yourself, you have invested your time in yourself, and this job, like you are coming for that job, they are not hiring you for free. Okay, so sound like that. Okay, be very powerful while you speak, like ma'am, what will be my role, and what are the timings I have to come to the office. Be positive and speak like you own yourself. Do not speak like you're desperate for a job. I hope that works. Ma'am, is this important that in front of an interview you have to speak in English only? No, no. Sometimes the HR also speaks in English. Again, one thing, I just said it, own your words, right? Own what you speak it. So even when you speak Hindi, own it. You must have seen people who speak Hindi with very much confidence, and they say, Hindi is my language, I'll speak it. I don't want you to be rude to the other person. Like, okay, मैं तो हिंदी बोलूंगा. I'm a native speaker. I don't like English. Don't sound negative, but be like own your language. If you speak Hindi and you're bad at English, just say it, ma'am. I'm quite uncomfortable with English. Is it okay if I talk in Hindi? Come, sorted, clear, acing the interview already. Confidence is the key. Great, thank you. I think a lot of questions are incoming. You can ask more questions. I will answer everything. This was a small slide on what type of questions are asked. Tell me about yourself, the STAR technique: situation, task, action, and result. Walk me through your resume. Many people ask it. This is where you have to get technical, and this is where you have to speak about your achievements. Be exaggerative here, and in the some questions you can be a little honest. That doesn't that works fine. And there are a lot of questions. You can go through this. I'll share it in the resources. Okay. Let's get to the next topic. What if the interviewer asks me a question I don't know? I can't see this answer. What should I say then? Should I be? Yeah. One of the very important problems, and good question, Khushi. If the interviewer asks you something that you don't know, I want you to be very positive about it. Okay, let's talk about the Oreo technique I was telling you. Uh, this technique is called the Oreo technique. O means opinion, R means reason, E stands for, what was the opinion, reason, and I think it's expression if I'm not wrong, and then again opinion. The E might be wrong, but I'll explain you in the correct way, even if I don't know what E stands for. Basically, Oreo technique is, say somebody asks you a question you doesn't know. Somebody asks you, you know, who the uh, chief minister of this state is, and you don't know the answer. Now, this might impact your personality, that this person has a very bad general knowledge. But here is a technique which will prove you a very convincing. What you have to do is, even if you don't know the answer, I want you to give the opinion first. You will say, I don't, inquire much about politics. Now you were negative, but you owned that answer, that I don't inquire much about politics. Yeah, I am not into politics. You gave an opinion. Then you will give a reason. What you will do here is, you will give a reason why you don't know anything about politics, or why you don't want to know anything about politics. You gave an opinion. You gave a reason, and then you will give an expression. Like, basically these 2 points are inculcated together. Like, you are giving a reason that I do this, and then why I don't know anything. Let's say you say I don't learn anything about politics because I feel that they are very fake, and in today's time every other politician is supporting corruption. Now, in the first moment you gave an opinion, in the second moment you gave a reason why you support that opinion, and then in the last part, the opinion again, you have to reinforce that opinion subconsciously in the person, that I think politics is just fake in today's time. This is the part where that person will be convinced that okay, politics might actually be a topic that should not be discussed with you. And even you can convince them that politics is not nice. What you did here is, you did not know knew the you did not know the answer, and you also reinforced that thought in the other person by giving it a reason and why you did not know the answer. Okay, so this is one of the techniques you can use if you don't know any. For example, if you are in coding interview and you are there for month stack development, and the person said, do you know anything about AWS? Now, AWS is something we do in DevOps or deployment. If you don't know, don't sound negative. Okay, what I want you to do is give your opinion. You will say, I tried learning AWS few months back, but I could not continue it. You gave your opinion. Now you will give a reason why you could not continue. Now you will say, AWS to me sounds very not my thing, because I'm more of a developer person and I would like to develop applications. However, I learned about it to know the end to end cycle of an application, but I did not pursue it because I felt that this is something I do not want to continue. So yeah, coming to your question, I have seen AWS aspects, but I did not see it in my future. So I did not pursue it. You will give your opinion, you will give your reason, and you will reinforce that opinion into the other person's mind. Clear? Clear, Khushi? Don't just say negative. You can also, if you don't want to use this technique for that matter, you can always say, I'm sorry, I'm still learning and I will try to solve this problem. In fact, a real time situation that I faced was, I did not know some answers. I asked that person, I'm sorry, I don't know this. Can you help me with this? The interviewer will give you the solution, and it will give a sense of learning in you. Like, you want to learn, you're curious to know the answer. So you say, no, sir, for now, I don't know it. Can you please help me with this? The person will answer, and he will have that basically playing with mind. You are playing with the mind of the person. Okay, thank you. Okay, great. It is 7:23. Okay. Hmm. This is the presentation. Next, can we move forward with the presentation? Let me know. The STAR technique, situation, task, action, result. We have already discussed this, how we structure your answer, especially while asked, tell us about yourself. Let me know if you have any more doubts. Hi guys, where are you? You're welcome, Khushi. Please give the thumbs up so I can move ahead. Ma'am, if I should tell the interviewer many skills, is it right? Because I thought I should tell them one skill which I am expert. I did not get your question, but I assume you are saying that should I exaggerate my skills? Never exaggerate your skills. Even if you know only one language, say C++, own it. I know C++, I have done this, and even if you don't know it advanced, what I said is, even if you lack some technical skills in today's time, there is a sudden shift in the trend. People are not looking for technical skills, they are looking for how good of a problem solver you are. If you can get things done using AI, they are literally giving you premiums of ChatGPT to uh, you know to code. So they want you to be very confident, they want you to be very have that leadership skill and a problem solver, like you can get things done. Just say this in interviews: I know how to get things done. You give me a task, I'll get your things done. You can test me. Great, thumbs up are incoming. Great, thank you. So coming back to your question, you should be honest. Even if you know one or two skills, own it, own them. Say, I know this, and I'm working on this. If you want to exaggerate something, just say, I'm working on this and I want to learn. Be honest. I think today's trend shift has seen a sudden, say, rise of personalization. Even in HR interviews, people are not being formal; they are being semi-formal. They're very personalized. They started using terms like uh, let me be honest, this is what I have learned. Let me be honest, I was in this organization and I could not get that exposure, but I want more of the exposure. I want to work more. So people are getting more personalized while communicating, and I think you should learn this art too. Okay, let's move ahead. Thumbs up आ गए हैं बहुत सारे. Real life example of, okay, we've done this. Think, speak, and solve. See, AI has misspelled some of the words, and you were saying it can replace us. Okay, think, speak, and solve. Logic, ability to break down complex problems. We have already solved this. If somebody gives you a case study, what do? You break down the problem. Now, even in the technical interviews, you will break down the problem. Then communication, express your thinking clearly to the interviewer. Basically, your words are not your thoughts, but they are building blocks of what you think, right? So let the other person know you think very well. I have an AI based interview on 7th. Thank you, Kushi. Can you just sorry, congratulations, Kushi. Can you just share something about it, like how it is conducted? So I have not given any interview based on AI. Like, AI based interview, what do you mean? Like, a domain is AI or it is conducted by AI? Kushi, can you please be a little elaborative? I think you mean it's conducted using AI. Conducted by, got it. So yeah, like the camera is on and you have to answer the questions given. Yeah, it's not that difficult. Basically one-on-one interviews, but the person sitting in front of you is AI. It's not a real human. What do you want to know? Just prepare well, just work well. Cheating doesn't work in the long run, so I would say be honest. And yeah, one of the mistakes that you guys are making is you prefer uh, offline interviews more, like online interviews more. Like in calls you can cheat, and trust me, in person interviews, walk-in interviews are always a win for me, because when you present yourself as a person, there is a sense of connectivity with the interviewer, and even if you could not perform well, you will get selected, trust me. So always opt for walk-in interviews. Don't think online interviews are good. Walk-in interviews are 10x better. People very easily reject you in online interviews, because what efforts did you make? You just joined the call, you just could not answer things. But when in person you go for walk-in interviews, you have made effort and that shows. Okay, so opt for walk-in interviews as much as you can. even if you don't know anything, even if you're afraid that you don't know what interview it might be like, how question what type of questions will be asked. No problems, just go, just go. Thanks. I think let's move ahead. Think, speak, and solve. So before you solve a problem, think. This is something that I have told you multiple times since yesterday. You should not jump to answers. You do not need to jump to answers. You have to think before you speak. Take your time. Patience speaks power. I'm saying this again and again. So think, okay? Communication. Express your thinking clearly. Obviously, don't keep your words. Silence is not golden in interviews. I have said this again and again. And yeah, this is very important. This single sentence speaks volumes. Explaining your thought process out loud. So there is a scenario. You are given a problem, say a basic problem like um, what do we say? Reverse an array. If you are from coding background, I assume the reverse a string. Let's say reverse a string. Basically, solve should output like EVLOS. So what most of the candidates do is, okay, you have got the question, you will just hold the keyboard and you just start typing. This is what everybody does. What makes you stand out? Speak your thoughts. So before taking in hand the keyboards, what I want you to do is, I want you to explain your process to the interviewer. You'll say, okay, the question is reversing the string. They will give you this case, they will give you an example, and they will say this should be the output, this is the expected output. I want you to speak your process out loud, your whatever the roadmap you have created to solve the problem. Say basically speak the algorithm. I want you to speak and tell them like, okay, so I think I will first use a loop. The loop will run from the 0th position to the last indexing of the string, and then I will move like I will use the -1 stepping, and then it will reverse the string, and then I will print the output. Whatever the algorithm you are using, I want you to speak it out loud. Speaking. Now, even if you don't notice it, even if you don't think it works, subconsciously the other person is taking those thoughts and those vibrations that, okay, this person has a roadmap in his mind and he thinks before he starts working. Again, patience is the key. I am a 2024 graduate and have given more, I can't see the word due to this heart, more than 50 tests and got shortlisted for interview in 8 to 10 companies. Great. Black Pearl. Good. Congratulations. तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. What do you want? What question you have? You can ask if you have any question. Okay, so yeah, speaking and thinking ability works wonders if you have worked on yourself. This is not a one day thing or one night thing. You have to work on yourself for like a month or two, or it might take a lot of time, but you will learn as you go. Do not stop yourself. What most of the freshers are doing these days is, I'm not ready. I think I'm not ready yet. I think I'm not ready for the interview. What is your benchmark of getting ready? What do you think of getting ready is? You seriously think a 6 years of experienced MERN stack developer knows every aspect of Node? They don't know even, I think they know as much as you know right now. They just have some real time problems. They have solved it in the corporate. That's why they are experienced. They are not expertised in it. Okay. So, what is your benchmark of getting ready for the interview? Everyone is ready. Just get into corporate as soon as possible, because you are not going to learn anything unless you solve real time problems. Okay, Pearl has. I've cleared most of my technical interviews. Great. But I'm not able to clear my HR interviews. I want to improve communication skills, but don't know how to do it. Okay. First of all, great that you uh, know your weaknesses. This is the very first step and the most difficult step. So you know you have to improvise. I'll help you. Mm, Okay, Shilpa, I'll get back to your question after I answer this question, that how can I improve my communication. So, Pearl, I mentioned this earlier also, read books and practice communication in public. Like, get into public, speak, be a good speaker. If Okay, there's a very short story about Hitler. If you have seen his speeches, he was a really good speaker. But was he like, did he become a good speaker in one day? It took him like 10, 12 years to become a speaker, and he was by far the best speaker in the world has ever witnessed. He was by far the best speaker. Why? Because he had worked on himself. There was a story that he used to take a photographer into an empty room and see from different angles, and the what in what way can he speak that like grabs the attention of most of the audience. And I don't know if you've seen the speeches, but at some point during his speech, you he used to rise, his pitch used to rise to such a point that you would think God is speaking through him. I want you to YouTube some videos of him speaking. He would reach at such a high point while speaking that that spoke power. You think he did it in one day? No, it took him years. And when he rose to power, that's when he used it, and that is why he used it. So, if you think communication can be improvised in one day, no, it is not. But this was the biggest task. You knowing that you are not good at communication, that was the biggest thing. Now it's a cakewalk. Just read, speak more. How do you learn cooking? By cooking, right? So how will you learn speaking? By speaking. What most of the people do is they know I don't speak well of an English. I don't speak English well, and that's it. I don't speak well. I will not improvise. How will you improvise unless you speak, right? Just speak. Now, coming back to Shilpa's question, I hope I cleared your doubt. Shilpa, do we have access free resources for interview selection or something paid? What should we prefer? What kind of resources you want, Shilpa? Like, what kind of resources you're referring to? Please elaborate. What kind of resources? We'll get back to your question. This, I think we did. Yeah, key takeaways should be this one. This one. Explain your thought process out loud. Explain it clearly. I just, uh, you, okay, your question is, I just can't communicate in English and while speaking, and I get stuck or go completely blank while talking to the interviewer. This happens because you have, kept the interviewer on a pedestal that he is something superior. Is he actually that superior? Is he Steve Jobs? No. Or is he the god? No. The minute you think of the interviewer at your level only, he is just more experienced than you, and you are going to be experienced in 3 years. You too are also going to be experienced. So the minute you get him out of that pedestal and you see him on your level, I don't want you to talk to him like, bro, what's up? No, by level, I mean, he's also an employee. He has just, his age is just bigger older than you, and that's the point. He is more senior than you. That's it. He is on your level only. Okay, so the minute you stop seeing him as someone in power, you will speak fluently. Consider, like, if you talk to your friend, do you fumble? You don't. Then why do you get nervous in front of the interviewer? It's all in the mind. Trust me, it's all in the mind. Even if you speak in Hindi, own it. If you are fumbling, if you feel like, "Oh, I'm fumbling, it's affecting my confidence," switch to Hindi. Just tell the interviewer, I'm not comfortable in English. Can I speak in Hindi, please? But with confidence. There is a difference. When you say, my English is little bad, can I speak in Hindi? The way you say, the way your eyes speak, you know, your brows, if you have that confidence, like, I'm a little uncomfortable in English, can I talk in Hindi, please? This shows confidence that you know the answer. You are well fit for the interview. You just don't want to speak in English. Okay, I don't want you to be rude. I want you to be confident. Mm, how to crack interviews? This is what we are talking, Shilpa. ये सारी चीजें, all these things matter in the long run, not for your freshers interview. In the long run, these techniques, mastering these techniques can make you good leaders. Okay, ma'am, learning DSA in Python, is it a good practice? Definitely. Learn DSA in Python. Most of the questions in Python are from DSA, the palindromes, the Fibonacci series, and what other questions are asked? Reversing a string, the linked list. I have some topics also. I'll share that. So yeah, learning DSA is very much important, but don't get into it like DSA. I will. What I have seen in students is I will take a 6 months break and I will learn DSA. No, this is something you learn on the way. Solve two problems for every day, and that's enough. You do not have to take specific and dedicated time to learn DSA. Trust me, you're not going to learn anything unless you get into corporate. So be stubborn, get into corporate, and learn on the way. Learn as you go. Now, I asked the question about, sorry, Shilpa, I missed it. I will get back to it again. Shilpa's question. Where is it? Okay. Do we have access free resources for interview selection or something paid? What should we prefer? How to crack interviews? I think you do not need to pay to learn how to crack interviews. What are they going to do? Are they going to get inside your body and crack the interview for you? They are just going to speak the same thing what I am saying, or anybody's on the internet saying. I just shared some insights, some personal experiences, and some things that are very much important while going to interviews. I don't think you ever need to pay someone to tell you how to crack interviews. How do you manage to use time and how do you use to manage time simultaneously, college and interview prep? Again, stubbornness. If you want to do something, you will get that energy in you. Time management, a very important skill which most of the people these days are lagging. I don't know if you have heard this, but in today's time, most of the people are distracted, and it is very easy to stand out. Earlier, there was no technology, and so people everywhere were there. So if 108 people or 110 people were pursuing engineering degrees, they were actually working. But in today's time, out of 100 and those 110 people, I think 105 people are distracted, and don't be one of them. Be out of those 5 people who know what they have to do. And again, the second thing that I have noticed is I'm in college right now. I will learn the skills after the college. I have to study. I have subjects. Trust me, you can prepare the subjects in 3 months, but you can never prepare your technical skills in 3 months after the college. So if you think that after college I will give 3 months, I will learn everything and then I'll get a job, no, you're not going to get a job. So learn as start as soon as you can. And in this age, you have to fail quickly. Fail as fast as you can so that you know where you stand out and what you are made for. Ma'am, as you said, learn AI, but what we have to learn in AI? Like, we have to learn AI models, or we have. I did not say learn AI. I said grow with AI. Like, if they have given you, if they're helping you use it. Nobody of you might have used ChatGPT to find a job. I did, and I don't think anybody I don't think anybody I know is using it. You can use it. You can ask it for the companies that are actively recruiting. You can ask it for. It will not give you direct HR links, but it will like HR emails. But it will sure give you some websites that have direct link to the HR emails. So I'm just asking you to use it. Use it for resume building. Use it for. See, I used Gamma AI to create this PPT that I'm showing you right now. It saved my time. No, I just provided it the entire content that I wanted in the slides. I just mentioned it. Slide one should have this content. Slide two should have this content. It created such a good PPT for me. Time saving. That is what I'm saying. Telling you, be smart. If AI is smart, you have to be smarter. Don't rely on it. Which online platform is best to practice, like HackerRank or like both are good. Just solve three questions every day. That's enough. I don't want you to get into DSA. Like सारा दिन हम DSA ही कर रहे हैं. बहुत सारी चीजें. There are a lot of things, and you are also very young. I presume you are a fresher, so invest time in yourself also. Okay, you are anyhow going to get a job. Nobody is that prepared. Trust me. Ma'am, when I am in my comfort zone, I can speak well in English in calls as well as with my close friends. But when it comes to speaking in front of large audience, everybody gets nervous. I, I like I say I don't have stage fear. I have handled audience a lot in my school time, in my college time, but I still get nervous when I before stepping onto the stage. Everybody does. Trust me, the best of the speakers get nervous while getting onto stage or speaking in front of the audience. But you build that confidence as you go. Like you get in stage, you're nervous, fine. Look into the eyes of the other person. Again, you are keeping those people in a pedestal like they hold a power. They don't. In fact, you hold the power while you are on stage. This shift in your thought process can take you from here to here. What you have to do is they are not superior, you are superior in that moment. You are leading, you are on stage. Have you seen TED Talks? Have you seen how people lead? The way they step on the stage, the way they introduce themselves, they are grabbing the attention of the other people. So I think confidence is the key. And not every English speaker is a good speaker. I have seen Hindi speakers also, right? So the confidence with which you carry yourself, and when you see the other people on your level and not on any pedestal, I think you have aced it. But getting nervous is very common. Trust me, it's very common. Everybody gets nervous. And if you're forgetting something, Shilpa, it's okay. Slow down, take a pause, and then frame a story. What happens is we get nervous, we forget things. Uh, for example, I will give you my mistake here. I was giving you a technique Oreo. I read it like many years, I think many months ago I read it. So I forgot what E was. So I gave you like E stands for expression. That was my quick thought process. I think I'm 90% sure it is E doesn't stand for expression in Oreo, but the meaning was clear in my mind. So even if you forget some things, you can replace them always. You are the leader and you know what you're speaking, so it's easy. It's not that difficult. I will share the resources definitely. Whatever I'm showing on the screen, I'll share everything. And strategies to enhance vocabulary. I can suggest you some good books if you're a beginner. If you want, let me know. I can suggest some good books that I read and helped me frame confidence. Is learning AWS QuickSight a good skill, and will it make me stand out in data and analytics roles? Yeah, learning AWS is good. It will data analytics and AWS. They are very much connected actually. If you are going for data analytics, go for first go for Power BI and Python and work on that, and then move to AWS. Like deployment part, not don't keep it in on priority basis. Work on Python and Power BI and graphs first. Okay. Okay, ma'am, I can't solve a single question on HackerRank, whereas when I see the answer, I understand it. Okay, I will tell you my story. I was in an interview. They gave me a question, and I even wrote the code, and but I somehow knew this is going to show error, and it showed error. Now what I did there was I had a paper and a pen. before submitting my, because I tried that person, the interviewer asked me twice that, Geeta, is this done, is that done? Now if they have asked you twice, you know that the alarm is on, and now you have to submit it, you have to say yes sir, done, because anyhow they are going to say, okay, if you can't do it, just give it back. So I did not want to leave that negative expression. So what I did was, I knew my code was wrong. I took a pen and a paper. Now this shows your presence of mind. I took a pen and a paper. I thought of the solution. Now, I think most of you will agree. Every question that we see on Lead Code or Hacker Rank or any DSA question, most of the questions we can solve. We know the algorithm. Like we know the algorithm of everything. Like for example, reversing a string. You might not know the code for it. That's okay. But you know the logic. You know, I will read the string backwards. I will read the string from last index to first index, and I will print it. I will store that string into one new variable. Or say, for example, I give you a very basic question that you have to interchange the values of two variables. A is equal to 2, B is equal to 5. Now A should be 5 and B should be 2. Now you might not know how to code this, but you know what you will do. If you have to transfer the water from one bottle to another, what you need a third bottle. So you know the logic, you know that you will need a third variable where you will store the value of the first, like two bottles, third empty bottle. You will store the water of first bottle in the third bottle, then you will transfer the water of second bottle into first, and then from the third you will transfer the value of first bottle into second. You know the logic, right? And most of you will agree, in most of the lead code and hacker rank questions, we know the logic. So what I did there was, I knew the code is wrong. Fine. I knew the basics. मैंने loop वगैरह लगा दिए थे. Everything seemed to be okay, but it was not working somehow. What I did was, I took a notebook, I took a pen, I wrote the algorithm. I said step one, I will take a new variable. I don't remember the question, but I remember what I did. Step one, I will take a variable. Step two, I will do this. Step three, I will do that. And in 7 steps, I went back to the interviewer and I said, sir, I tried a lot. Somehow the code is not working for me, but I don't want to disappoint you. So here is the algorithm, that how I will approach this problem. And this is what I did. This is something you can do also. Even if you don't know the answer to a question, first of all, keep asking question to the interviewer. If you don't remember, like there was a time when I did not know, like I knew there is break and continue in Python, and there is uh, in JavaScript it's different. So I somehow mixed both. In JavaScript it is pause, no, whatever it is, like I think it's pause and continue. Basically there are four different words. So I got confused, I mixed them up. So I asked the interviewer, sir, is this break and continue with this and that? That person helped me. So yeah, that's how you can still sound confident even if you don't know the answers. Give them the algorithm even if you don't know the code, and speak what you want, speak what you how you will tackle that problem. Sorted. I hope I cleared your doubt. And same problem, even I know logic. Yeah, exactly. Even when you know the logic, tell them the logic. Give them a written algorithm. This is my steps. This is how I'll solve this. Even if my code doesn't run, this is my like map to solving this problem. Just don't leave a negative impact. The person should know that you try things out. You don't give up. Okay. I hope that works. Next is some famous 5 topics of coding. Arrays and string, please practice it. Sorting and searching. Sorting is used, like I have mentioned it here also, in Amazon. You're indexing whatever you search. Sorting plays a great role in whatever manner you are searching the product. So they have some real time uses. They are not useless. I used to think, where do we use it? We actually use it a lot. Okay, linked list, stack, trees, these are some basic topics that you have to have learn and yeah, master. Okay, you're welcome. So they are fundamental. They see your problem-solving skills. They assess logic and analytical skills. And your key takeaways, even if you're not good in coding, even if the code doesn't work, don't panic. Give them the algorithm and write it in a paper and say, "This is my approach. Somehow the code is not working, but I figured out the solution." Spotted. Sorting is what powers Amazon's search. This is what I just mentioned, and how DSA powers platforms. So data structures is very important if you are going for coding and some technical jobs. Solve it like it's a game day. So this is how you can approach your DSA journey if you are preparing for technical interviews. Take it like a game. Like, today I will solve three problems. Today I will solve two problems. Even if you can't solve three problems, you will at least solve two problems. So there's nothing bad about it. So step by step, solve them step by step. Have an algorithm in your mind. Stick to the logic. Sometimes people, get like panic because of the syntax. Like, I don't know the syntax, I don't know the loops. That's all right. First, be mindful of what you are doing. Solve the problem, break it into steps, and then slowly start coding. You will get to the solution. And demonstrate logical thinking through the problem solving, very important if solving DSA. And then engagement tip, encourage audience to suggest the next step. This is something I just mentioned in the previous slide. Whenever you are solving a coding question in an interview, don't cut off with the interviewer. Keep him in the loop. Ask him questions. This is what I did. I asked, "Sir, is that break and continue in JavaScript, or is it in Python?" So that person helped me. He told me the real answer. So keep them in the loop. Ask them questions. Don't shy away. Trust me. If you put them in a position that they feel they might help you, they will help you. And it gives a sense of, you say, friendliness in them. Like, they want to help you and they would want to hire you. The latest friendship, this is it. Personalization. Build a connection, build a logical and mental connection with that person. Okay, ask them questions, keep them engaged, keep them in the loop. Body language and soft skills, your silent answer. Just a second. Is there anything left? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we are talking about body language. I have made some notes for you. Here also, good posture conveys confidence. And yeah, it is the same here also. So basically, in an interview, your body talks before your mouth does. Your body speaks, literally speaks. The way you sit, don't slouch. The way you look at the person, don't look away. Don't look, "My name is Geeta and I'm here for a full stack interview." No, look in the eyes of the person. Show confidence. Don't keep them in a pedestal where you feel like they are in power. No, they are on your level only. So don't slouch, use natural gestures, and always nod while you speak. Like, not don't do like this. Nod in a subtle way, like you're listening. It subconsciously affects them that you are actually listening. Okay, and minimize distracting mannerisms. Like, what do? We sometimes do this pen ko ghumaya ya fir anything like tapping, or minimize that. Okay, minimize as much as you can. It shows nervousness, it shows underconfidence. So minimize that. I think we are pretty much done for, yeah, this was the last slide. The bootcamp comes to an end. Can I see some questions? So this was it. How you can crack interviews. I think you can land your dream job. Be stubborn, start apply. If 50 companies don't work, apply to 60. You get reward backs, you talk to them, and don't sound desperate. Own yourself, like you have invested your time in yourself. Okay, so be like, if you want to work, if you want to get things done, show power. That's it. You will get. Love this session. Thank you. Do we have some missed questions? If a recent this done. Ma'am, I know that the Python is easy, but I like C++, and that's why I learned DSA with C++. So is it right decision because everyone says Python is easy, then you should anything that suits you is good. If C++ suits you, work on it. In fact, I have learned Python and JavaScript both. In fact, there is a funny incident. That was my first or second interview, wherein I was giving the interview for JavaScript, and They gave me a question. So they asked me to open a compiler online. I opened the JavaScript compiler. I wrote the entire code in Python, and I wanted to run it, and it was not working. And then the interviewer asked me, you know Python? I said, yeah, I practiced it months back. I don't know it much. And he said, then, but you wrote the entire code in Python. So थोड़ा सा mess up हो जाता है, but learn as much as you can. It's really fun. Trust me, finding a job, you sometimes laugh at yourself. And I got rejected in that interview. Trust me. I don't know why, but that interview was quite rude. But I laughed at myself for like 5-10 minutes. Like, what did I do? On a JavaScript compiler, I literally coded in Python and I was trying to run it. And I was like, code to sahi hai, logic to sahi hai, why isn't it working? So that's fine. Everything is fine. It's fun. Don't take it as it's a benchmark to your success. No, it's just one of the processes. Any more questions from you guys? The session has come to an end. It's 8:01. Any more questions? You want me to share anything or any more questions? Please, quick, be quick. Guys, have you all slept? Let me know, how did you like the session? Did you find it worthwhile? Did you learn anything new? Yeah, sure you can, Prashant. Okay, I'll share the resources for Python DSA. Radhika, I'll share some YouTube channels, good YouTube channels. I'll share the channels if I find any. Let's Upgrade also conducts some sessions. You can stay connected. Thank you. Good session. Thank you. Yeah, to dress up in a virtual interview is necessary. Wear any bottoms, but the top should be good. You should feel confident in whatever you're wearing. Trust me, even in online interviews. In fact, I think online interviews are more tougher, on the tougher side to crack, because they don't see you in person. They don't see any efforts that you put in, although you did. So opt for walk-in interviews as much as you can. But even if you have an online interview for some MNCs or something, dress well, dress confident. Shared resources from where you can access from all-in-one documentation link that the channel has provided. It has been pinned, if you can see the all-in-one documentation. I have not put the documents abhi, but I will put it before 9 p.m. So don't worry. I will put all the resources. Any more doubts, guys? This is the time we end the session. So thank you. Yeah, I'll share the resume templates. You can always get back to yesterday's bootcamp, Black Pearl, and you can see what I shared. It was very insightful yesterday also. I shared some personal experiences and how I reached out to people. And yeah, follow-up technique is also important. If you give an interview, always follow up after 4 to 5 days and keep the message subtle. If you want, I will share some examples of how you can frame an email or follow-up message on LinkedIn. Okay, I shared it, but I'll share it again. The resources will be shared in all-in-one documentation, Radhika. Okay, guys, I think this is the time we wrap up the session. I hope you found it worthwhile. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed interacting with you and solving your doubts. I have been in there, and I want you to take it as fun. It's no pressure. You learn as you go. Don't think I'm not ready, I'm not ready. You are ready always. There is no benchmark set to it. Own yourself like you have invested time, and yeah, that's it. Confidence is the key. Okay, I will share everything, and thank you for joining the session. Thank you so much. I hope you liked it, and yeah, I loved interacting with you. See you soon, and all the best for your future endeavors. Bye. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye.